Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hey, we do crafty things here. Right now that's mostly friendship bracelets, but there will be more things coming. So if you like crafty things, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, you may notice we're in a different location. And that's because I adulted and got a new kitchen table. So I thought we'd film at it. But more importantly, I'm not sure if I liked the format we used last month. I normally, like last month, I shared what I was listening to and stuff while I was making bracelets. I'm going to try it again this month, but I don't know if I liked it or not. So let me know what you guys think. But jumping into it, the first book and only book I read this month or listened to was Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars because honestly, I don't read a lot of nonfiction. And I got onto him from the Joe Rogan podcasts, and he was really thought-provoking, and his voice was just really soothing to listen to. And I thought I would listen to this book, and it's just so sciencey. I really couldn't focus much on doing the bracelet because I had to focus on the book. Otherwise, it was basically going in one ear and out the other. I wasn't comprehending what I was listening to. So I did a few simple patterns. This first one here is a diamond and X's pattern. If you watched last month's wrap up, which I will link in the little cards there, you'll recognize this because I did a different color scheme of the same pattern last month, and I really liked how it turned out. So I had to try these earthy tones. I really actually am happy with how that turned out. I really like those colors. Sometimes I do earthy tones and I don't like how it turns out. So I was quite happy with that. But the next couple patterns, because I was still listening to this book, actually are quite simple. It just took me, I think the book was actually like 4 hours long, and it took me so long to get through just because I had to be in the right mindset to listen to it. So this next one is just a Fishbone Chevron. I really like the color combination on this. I was really happy with my choice there, the purple and the blue gradients with the white in there. I just think it looks so pretty. I'm definitely not complaining with that. I'm so happy with that one. And then the next one, I hadn't done a candy stripe in forever. And I was like, you know what? Wizards Unite came out, which, by the way, if you don't know what that is, it's basically Pokemon Go, but Harry Potter themed. And so I thought I'd do a Slytherin Pride bracelet in kind of like the scarf pattern. So this is my Slytherin candy stripe bracelet. If you guys play Wizards Unite, by the way, I'll leave my friend code in the description below. So if you play, add me. If you don't, well, don't even worry about it. It's okay. That's cool too. I really like Harry Potter though, so I made a candy stripe bracelet. I hadn't made one in forever, so that was kind of cool. And actually, this next bracelet is also a candy stripe, and I was making it for a video, but I didn't actually like how the footage turned out for that. So that video you guys won't see. But I did like the color combination, so I decided to finish the bracelet despite having just made a candy stripe. So I went ahead and made this one with just some blues, greens, yellows. Nothing too fancy. Like I said, it's a candy stripe a candy stripe bracelet. But there it is. Also, I've thought about redoing my candy stripe tutorial if anyone would be interested in that, just so it's newer and like clearer quality. Let me know in the comments down below if that's something that you guys think I should do or not. I still get comments and stuff on it that people use it and it's helpful and stuff. So, I mean, I just thought it might be fun to update it. Now, the next thing I listened to was the No. 6 Collaborations project by Ed Sheeran, because he dropped a new album this month. And it's basically every single song is a collaboration with someone, and it was so good. Now, Ed Sheeran is one of my favorite artists. Like, if we go top 3 favorite artists, you've got like Eminem, Harry Styles, and Ed Sheeran, which is a really weird combination, but it exists in my Spotify, in my iPhone, in my head. It's all good. So I was really excited when he dropped the list of names on this because there are some cool collaborations. I think my favorites are South of the Border, which is him, Cardi B, and Camila Cabello. Remember the Name, which was also excellent. There's a few on there. But while I was listening to it, I actually made this bracelet, and I've just inserted a picture because I made it for a swap, and it is on its way to Scotland. And it was kind of my big bracelet for the month. I try to make like one big bracelet a month and then a few smaller ones. So I was pretty happy with how that turned out. Hopefully she should be getting it soon because I'm in Canada. She's in Scotland. It's going to take a few weeks to get there, and it's maybe been just over a week. So hopefully she likes it when she gets it. But of course, having listened to No. 6 Collaborations project, I went down the Eminem rabbit hole, guys. I feel like that's a rabbit hole. Like, if you like Eminem, everyone goes down this rabbit hole. So I went from number 6 collaborations project to re-listening to the Kamikaze album. Such a good album. And obviously, if you're a younger viewer, Eminem is explicit. So make sure you're allowed to listen to that before you go listening to it. But such a good album again. And like, listening to Eminem to me is like rereading a good book. Every time you listen to it, just like every time you read a book, like you pick up something new, a new innuendo or just a new phrase or a new double meaning that you didn't get before, just some little detail. And so I can listen to Eminem on repeat forever, and I did for like half the month. But while I was doing that, I made this bracelet, and I actually made 2 versions of this bracelet because I did it for a video on segment knotting, which has not been posted yet, but it is coming. It's just gonna take a long time to edit because I actually made one bracelet normal style, how the pattern reads, and the other segment knotted. So I was really happy with how this one turned out because I've been struggling with this pack of string that I got. It's got these beautiful like neon pinks and greens, but the tones are just so mixed and weird in this pack. I've been having troubles coming up with good color combinations with them. So I was quite happy that that turned out that way. And this next one, I'm not breaking any color palette boundaries or anything here. We went with the Rasta colors, and I mean, those colors just look good together. I think it turned out really nice. I'm quite happy with it. And that's really all I have to say about that one. I really, really liked it. So, yeah, otherwise, basically, guys, I was deep in an Eminem rabbit hole. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still deep in the Eminem rabbit hole. Remember the Name is like my favorite song on that Ed Sheeran collaborations project, and it just reminded me of like old 50 Cent songs and stuff. So it was really fun. I just went back and listened to like old Eminem, and it's just been a lot of music this month, and I've been loving it. What do you guys listen to? Do you guys listen to Eminem, or are you into Ed Sheeran? What kind of music do you guys listen to? Let me know. The next bracelet I made was listening to a podcast called Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, and I'm actually super, super disappointed in this bracelet because, and it's completely my fault, I used new string and old string together, and this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about when people ask me, like, my lines are bumpy, things aren't looking right, it's not straight. It can be because of your string. Now, this string was 6 strand, and I noticed it kind of seemed a little bit bigger than the other string, but I didn't think it was that much bigger. I thought the strands were just a bit looser. But as you can see in this bracelet, a couple of these colors were from my older string and a couple from the newer string. And the newer string caused this kind of ballooning effect. And at the start, it wasn't too bad. It was kind of manageable. But by the end, I basically just finished out what I had in there for black string and kept it as a teaching tool for you guys. So if you're having difficulties keeping things straight in your bracelet, make sure you check your string. Look to your string first. And as you can see here, that new string that I got, it was called like Friends Forever. It was a giant pack at Walmart. I don't really recommend it. I liked the colors in it though, so I got it. And it just frays so much. Like, that's an anchor thread, guys. That's not even the knotting string. I tied that to the safety pin to anchor the color while I started tying it in. And you can see that blue one at the top there, that's hardly frayed at all. That was a knotting string. Like, that's the 2 different kinds of strings I'm working with here. So I'm not too impressed with that Friends Forever stuff. Like, it's okay, but it doesn't play well with other string, and it kind of splays out a lot. So your knots can kind of get deformed pretty easy. So not my favorite string. I did really like the colors in it though, which is disappointing. As far as the pattern goes though, it was supposed to be a London skyline with the sunset in the back. And if I do try to make this pattern again, I might just try and find like a sunset gradient string, like a tie-dye string, and just do it that way, just because I feel like the color changes, just the way this pattern is kind of doomed to look a little choppy and weird. But I don't know, I may try this pattern again. I left it in my to-dos because I did really like it. It has like the London Eye and Big Ben and everything in it, so I'll try it again probably one day, but I was pretty disappointed with that, so it won't be anytime soon. Now, the next bracelet I made was also listening to this podcast. And this podcast is basically, it sounds like you're talking about Harry Potter and the Bible. but you're not. It's basically they assess it like you would the Bible. So it's like, okay, next week will be on chapter 3 through the eyes of expectation. And so it's kind of breaking it down analytically by themes like you would read sections of the Bible, or any sacred text really. But while I was listening to that, I made this GIMP keychain. I do have a tutorial for this up already, so I will link it in the cards and in the description for you guys if you're interested. I expect to probably get about 2 years out of this because that seems to be the lifespan I get on them. My last one snapped and I needed to make a new one, so yeah, but it's fun to listen to. And I mean, Harry Potter, the first few books are children's novels, like, let's be real. So listening to them kind of analyze it a little more, it's kind of refreshing. And I love Harry Potter, like I said earlier, so it's kind of a nice little more grown-up way to approach Harry Potter. But this month was kind of a bit of experimentation, like with that London one where I wasn't sure what the strings were going to do. I decided to take a chance, and I pop into other videos and stuff, and Masha from Masha Knots anchors her bracelets with tape sometimes. And my experience wasn't good with tape before, but I thought I would try it again because she had told me that she just uses a lot of tape. And it doesn't translate too well on the screen here, but there's actually a lot of dips and bumps in the sides of this bracelet, and I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. And then by the end, it started to even out and it was okay, but overall I wasn't happy with it. So I made another one, different colors, using a safety pin as an anchor, and I was happy with how that one turned out. This one's okay. It looks fine when it's on your wrist because it's curved and you can't really tell. But overall, my experience with anchoring with tape was better than previously, because before I used to get like sticky residue on the strings and just pull the string out from underneath the tape all the time. And this time it was actually okay. I just didn't like that I wasn't really able to move my work. Like on the safety pin, you can kind of angle it. So every time I sat down to work on the bracelet, I had to be sitting in the exact same position for it to feel right. So I might try anchoring with tape again, but I don't know. Anyways, the last bracelet, which is a second version of the one I just made, I watched the Netflix series Blown Away, which is kind of like those cooking channel challenges where they're like, here's your challenge and cook something in 4 hours and present your best work. It's like that, but with blown glass. And I don't know what it is about blown glass, but I watch, like, when I'm like stressing out, people listen to ASMR. I go and I sit and I watch glass blowing videos. I don't even know how to glass blow. I would really love to learn, but I don't think there's anywhere here that even does glass blowing, so probably won't learn for a long time. But I was really happy with how this bracelet turned out, and I really enjoyed the show. I think it was really, really cool. I would definitely recommend it if you guys see it come up on Netflix. It's really cool just to see what people come up with and their ideas and creativity with the concepts. But this bracelet was a lot less dippy than the last one, and I was really happy with how it turned out. So anyways, that concludes what I knotted for July. So if you guys like this format where I kind of tell you what I listened to and watched while I was making my bracelets, let me know. If you have any pattern suggestions for next month, also let me know. And until next time, I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.